Hiya, today's video is about resilience and the power to overcome, the power to bounce back. And we all have that resilience, whether you believe that or not, depending on where you are in your life. But we have an inbuilt strategy called resilience. Now, anybody who has walked a path of, say, darkness or trauma, a person who understands disappointment and broken dreams, to have lived a life very traumatic or have experienced like a disaster or real sadness, disappointment in their life, they know what it's like to be resilient because we have the ability to bounce back. Now, I'm not saying we have the ability to be all singing, all dancing, all happy, yeah, 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 look at me. But we do have the ability to outgrow because the trauma itself, the trouble, the problem itself never really loses its size. It remains the same. But we as people are built to grow, to develop, to broaden our horizon, to outgrow the size of that trauma. So instead of it totally engulfing us in our lives, we learn how to deal with it. We learn how to accept it. And I suppose we go through that series of that steps of grief, and eventually then, the anger, the grief, the whatever, and you get to the acceptance stage. Not as a really long process, it takes a long time to get to that stage, but that is a process in life where we learn to expand and extend. I suppose it's like through perseverance, just persevering on through till we get to that resilience and eventually get to a point where we accept the things that we cannot change. It's like that prayer of serenity. Lord, help me to accept the things that I cannot change, because there are some things in life we can change, but there are some things in life and we simply cannot change. It's totally out of our control. I think resilient people understand that bad things sometimes happen. I mean, most normal people understand that because we're humans and we live in this world, that bad things happen. But it's about that persevering and pushing through the pain. It's about establishing healthy boundaries in your life. This is what persistent people do. People who have learned to persevere have learned how to push through the pain and set boundaries and maybe challenge situations. It's about valuing who you are as a person and respecting yourself. See, other people will never respect you until you respect yourself. So if other people are not respecting you, in a way, that's up to you to challenge that and set in your healthy boundary. And, that is not acceptable. I do not expect you to do that because you respect yourself. So you're able to set in those healthy boundaries. And also, persistent people, people with resilience, realize that failure is not final. Just because something failed doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Even though we face many trials in life and trauma, God says that we're more than conquerors through Christ. I often think about scars that trauma can leave on your heart and on your body, and how scars heal. They do. Now, whenever you have a scar and you touch that thing and it's sore, but after a period of time, eventually you can touch it. It's not just as sore as it used to be, until eventually you can touch that scar and it doesn't hurt anymore. But the scar will always be there and it will fade. But it's a reminder, isn't it? It's a reminder um, of the pain and what we went through. but you grow and you expand from it. No trials and tribulations shall come. Here's what Jesus says. Do not worry. Do not worry. I have overcome the world. Today you are an overcomer. I am an overcomer because of Christ. He overcame even death. We are overcomers. Let God fight your battles. Let Him heal your broken heart. By His stripes you are healed. You are an overcomer. Blessed is the man or woman who remains steadfast under trial or under perseverance or under this really gives perseverance. This gives resilience to be able to remain steadfast, to trust God through every dark situation, through every dark valley, to be able to say, I have faith in God. I don't like what has happened. I don't know what's going on, but I simply trust. I trust you, God. I will never stop trusting you. And even though this is painful, I believe that I'm going to push through and eventually you will turn this thing round so that my pain develops into my ministry. My mess will be my ministry. Your mess is often your ministry too. For him who has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to all who love him. You know, God is in the business of giving out crowns. And I just thank God that there is a crown of righteousness and a crown of perseverance. And I would just want to encourage you today to remind you that no matter what has happened to you in your life, that you have resilience and that you are an overcomer because of Jesus. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.